Welcome back to the Mystical Musings Podcast. Today we're diving into March 2025's astrology. And to help us navigate, we've got Becca L. Hart. You know her from her blog, Mystical Musings, and she's a total tarot expert.
Thanks for having me again.
Always great to have you. And March looks intense. Planets changing signs, eclipses, and Mercury retrograde twice.
Yeah, it's going to be a wild ride.
So let's unpack this. Venus retrograde in Aries on March 1st. Now, we know Venus retrograde can mean relationship drama. But what about that Aries energy?
Well, Venus retrograde is all about reevaluating relationships, asking, do we value this? Do our connections really reflect that? And Aries brings this fiery, independent energy.
Well, so it's not necessarily ending things, but more like being sure you're getting what you need.
Exactly. It's a chance to really look at if your relationships help you grow individually and how to maybe adjust things if they're not. Aries is all about taking initiative and being true to yourself.
Okay, so not just going with the flow. Now I have to ask about Mercury retrograde. It's happening twice this month. First in Aries, then Pisces. What does that mean?
Buckle up because communication's going to be all over the place. Misunderstandings, tech issues, travel delays, you name it. And it's happening in two signs. So first in Aries, you might send that email without thinking or get into arguments. Then in Pisces, things get confusing. Logic takes a back seat to emotion, so it's hard to think straight.
I'm getting anxious just hearing about it. What can we do to handle all this?
First, don't start big new projects. This is the time to review what you've already got going. Double check everything, back up your computer, and maybe don't buy too much online. Patience is key. Breathe, and don't sweat the small stuff.
Okay, got it. I'll be triple checking everything I send. Now, switching gears, we've got a lunar eclipse in Virgo on March 14th. What's that all about?
This is like a cosmic decluttering. Think of Virgo. Organization, practicality, getting things done. This eclipse shows you what habits, beliefs, even stuff you own that isn't working for you anymore. It's time to let go and make space for new beginnings.
Like a spiritual spring cleaning. I love it. What are some examples of what we might be letting go of?
It could be bad routines, things you believe that hold you back, clutter in your home or work. Ask yourself what's weighing you down and imagine letting that go with the eclipse energy.
Wow. I like that. Now, a few days later is the Astrological New Year on March 20th, when the sun enters Aries. What's that like with the retrograde still happening?
It's a reset. Even with those retrogrades messing things up, the sun in Aries brings passion, courage, that desire to be in charge. But we have to remember Mercury and Venus are still retrograde, so we can't be too impulsive. Think strategically. Plan things out, build a good foundation.
So use that Aries fire, but think it through.
Exactly. It's like planting seeds, but waiting for the right time to let them grow. What big things have you been dreaming of?
So many. But you're right. I need to work on those ideas before jumping in. Now, before we move on, I want to remind everyone about all the great stuff you offer. Becca, you have your website, mysticalmusetarot.com for personal readings, your YouTube channel, Mystical Muse Tarot for weekly readings for each sign, and your blog, Mystical Musings, for even more.
I do, and thanks for mentioning those. I love connecting with people and helping them use this astrological energy to empower themselves.
And for our listeners, Becca's offering 10% off personal readings with the code FIRST10. Definitely check that out. Now back to the forecast. Right before March ends, we get another Mercury retrograde as it moves into Pisces on the 29th, and a solar eclipse in Aries on the same day. Plus, Neptune moves into Aries on March 30th. That's a lot.
March is definitely saving the best for last.
So, let's break it down, starting with Mercury retrograde round 2 in Pisces. How is that different from Aries?
Well, if Mercury retrograde in Aries was that text you send and instantly regret, in Pisces it's like trying to have a deep talk underwater. It's murky. Feelings and intuition are stronger than logic. You might be more sensitive or even feel lost. It's not the time for big decisions based on facts.
I get it. So what should we do during the second Mercury retrograde?
Go with the flow. Embrace the dreaminess. It's a good time to be creative. Listen to your gut. Maybe journal or meditate to connect with your subconscious.
Okay, so work with the Pisces vibe. Got it. And on top of that, we also have a solar eclipse in Aries, the same day Mercury goes retrograde in Pisces. How does that change things?
New beginnings with a little cosmic confusion. The solar eclipse in Aries is like a jolt of energy pushing us toward fresh starts, new goals, maybe even a totally new path. But Mercury retrograde is still there, so things aren't so clear.
Like we have a map to somewhere new, but it's written in a language we don't understand.
Perfect analogy. Listen to your intuition, trust the process, and don't rush into anything. This eclipse is planting seeds, but they need time to sprout. So patience is key, as always, especially with Mercury retrograde.
Now, you said Neptune also enters Aries on March 30th, just a day after the eclipse, and the second Mercury retrograde. What does that bring to the table?
This is where things get really interesting. Neptune is all about spirituality, dreams, intuition, breaking boundaries. In Aries, it can be like a spiritual awakening. It makes us want to see things in new ways and connect with our higher selves more boldly.
So we're exploring our spiritual side with an Aries twist?
Exactly. Like you suddenly see a whole new side of yourself, a spiritual world you never knew existed, and you're ready to explore it with that Aries courage and drive. It's amazing for growth and change. But remember, Neptune's involved, so things might happen slowly.
Wow. It sounds like March is going to teach us a lot about ourselves and spirituality. What advice do you have for handling this energy, especially for people new to exploring their spiritual side?
Be kind to yourself. No need to rush. Start by making time for quiet in your day. Meditate, journal, be in nature, or just be more present in everyday life. Notice your dreams, your intuition, any coincidences or signs. Those can be messages from your higher self guiding you.
That's beautiful. It sounds like the key is to be curious and open instead of trying to force things.
Exactly. Embrace the mystery. Let yourself be surprised and trust that you're right where you need to be.
Okay, before we get into each sign's forecast, I have to ask, with Venus still retrograde in Aries that last week of March, will there be relationship stuff coming up? Especially with Neptune in Aries too?
Good point. Yes. Remember, Venus retrograde in Aries makes us look at our relationships and what we need. With Neptune in Aries, those thoughts might become deeper, more spiritual. We might have to deal with old emotional hurts or patterns that need healing.
So it's not just surface stuff, but dealing with deeper baggage that might be holding us back.
Exactly. This could be a time when past pain comes up not to hurt us, but to help us heal and change. It's a chance to let go of those old patterns and become more authentic and loving.
Wow, this is powerful. Okay, let's dive into the forecasts for each sign starting with Aries. Since it's their birthday season, what can those fiery rams expect?
Aries, get ready for a birthday month you won't forget. The Sun, Mercury, and Venus are all in your sign. So you'll have tons of energy and be ready for anything, but remember those retrogrades. Pace yourself. This month is about working on what you've already started and figuring out what you really want for your next chapter. The eclipses might bring some surprises, but think of them as chances to break free from things holding you back.
A cosmic boot camp to help Aries level up. What about Taurus? What's happening for them?
Taurus, this month is all about taking care of yourself and listening to that inner voice. With Venus retrograde in your sign, you might start thinking differently about your values, your relationships, even your relationship with yourself. Pamper yourself. Do things you enjoy. Connect with your senses. The eclipses might shake things up in your social life, so focus on the people who really matter.
Sounds like a good excuse for a spa day or a night in. Now, what about Gemini? What do they need to know?
Gemini, you love to talk, but with Mercury retrograde, things might get lost in translation. Think before you speak. Double check those emails and be patient. This is also a time when old friends or people you used to work with might come back around. See it as a chance to reconnect or fix things.
Good advice. What about our sensitive Cancer friends? What's going on for them?
For Cancer, it's all about finding balance between your work life and your home life. The eclipses could bring some changes to your career, so be open to new possibilities and trust your gut. It's also a good time to make your home a peaceful place where you can rest and recharge.
Good advice for our homebody Cancers. Now, what about Leo?
Leo, get ready to shine. With the sun in Aries, your confidence and energy will be through the roof. It's time to follow your passions, be creative, and show the world how amazing you are. But remember those retrogrades, don't be too impulsive. Use this time to make plans for your next big move.
Go get them, Leo. Now, Virgo. What's up for them, Virgo?
The lunar eclipse is in your sign, so this month is about letting go of things. Get rid of anything you don't need anymore. Clutter in your house. Negative thoughts, bad habits, anything. This is your chance for a fresh start and to be your true self. The retrogrades might cause some delays at work, so be patient and focus on improving your skills.
Time for some spring cleaning on the inside. Now, what about Libra?
Libra relationships are front and center this month. Venus, retrograde in Aries, makes you think about your partnerships, and if your needs are being met, talk to the people you love. Be honest with yourself and them about what you want, and work together to make things better.
Great advice for our relationship-focused Libras. Now, what about those mysterious Scorpios?
Scorpio March is a time to look inward and change. The eclipses might bring up some strong emotions, but use that to heal old hurts and let go of patterns that aren't working for you. This is when you connect with your power and embrace all parts of yourself. Trust your intuition and listen to your heart.
Intense but powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Now, Sagittarius, where are they headed?
For Sagittarius, the sun in Aries makes you want to travel and try new things. But with Mercury retrograde, plan everything carefully and don't make any rash decisions. It's also a good time to explore your spiritual side. Maybe learn about different philosophies or beliefs that open your mind.
Adventure with a bit of planning makes sense for Sagittarius. Now, what about Capricorn?
Capricorn, it's all about home and family. This month, the eclipses might bring some changes to your home life. So be flexible and focus on making things peaceful and supportive for you and the people you love. It's also a good time to think about your big goals and make sure they fit with what you truly believe in.
Always practical advice. Now for Aquarius. What's in their stars?
Aquarius. With Mercury retrograde, be careful what you say and try to avoid misunderstandings. It's a good time to catch up with old friends or meet new people. The eclipses could bring some money surprises, so be ready to adjust and look for new opportunities.
Makes sense for our social Aquarians. Finally, what about Pisces?
Pisces Neptune is moving into your sign. So this month is about trusting your intuition, your creativity, and your connection to something bigger than yourself. It's a powerful time to grow and change. Pay attention to your dreams, listen to your inner voice, and let your soul guide you. The eclipses might help you heal from old pain so you can move forward feeling lighter.
That's beautiful. Well, thank you so much for this incredible look at March 2025. It sounds like it's going to be a month full of challenges and amazing chances to grow.
It definitely will. Don't forget, these are just general things to think about. Everyone's chart is different, so going deeper and getting a personalized reading is always the best way to go.
Absolutely. And for those personalized readings, visit Becca's website, mysticalmusetarot.com. You can book a reading and get 10% off with the code FIRST10. You can also find her on YouTube and on her blog, Mystical Musings, for more great insights.
Thanks for letting everyone know. I love connecting with people and helping them understand how this energy can work in their lives.
That's wonderful. And to all our listeners, thanks for joining us. We hope this was helpful. Until next time. Stay curious, stay open, and keep looking up at those stars. And remember, even with all the cosmic craziness, there's always magic to be found. Thanks for listening to the Mystical Musings Podcast.